Nicky, a pretty disappointing loss. It must have been pretty hard to take. What was the message to the team last night?
Yeah, it was very hard to take. It was a particularly disappointing loss. Didn't look too much into the second innings. Second innings is really tough batting. 180 is about par in the second innings, but to be 280 all out or 230 all out on day one, that's killed us. Your first innings has to be substantial, it has to be big, and that's where you start putting pressure on India, and we didn't do that. So that for me was the most disappointing thing.
And what about looking towards the next test? There's obviously a bit of a break now, but are you forecasting changes?
Yeah, look, I think we need to sit down and have a look again at our combinations. We need to do some real hard work before the next test match. A couple of guys have got massive points to prove, so I would be very disappointed if we didn't get some response from the players, and certainly they need to know that they are under pressure.
The batters obviously aren't performing at the moment. What are they needing to work on in your eyes to turn things around?
I think it's very easy to criticise them. That yes, they haven't done the job. They haven't done the job in these conditions, and that's something that we just need to put into context a little bit. Is that only 4 of the squad have played in India, and I'm not sitting here making excuses at all. What I am saying is that it's a very, very difficult place to play. Sides have come here and haven't succeeded. I think Australia's won 4 tests here in the last couple of decades. So it is a tough place to play. We need to put that into reality. A lot of these batters haven't played in conditions as severe as this, and that's good for them. It's experience, but they need to perform. They're good enough. They're playing international cricket. They need to find a way to perform in the next 2 test matches.
India are conversely playing pretty well, and a couple of big partnerships have taken the game from Australia, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, and I just hope, as I've said numerous times to our batsmen, I just hope they've learned from the way Vijay and Pujara went about their innings. Straight bats, very patient, dominated towards the back end of a day, took their time. That was a masterclass in batting in these conditions, and I certainly think that a lot of our batsmen could have taken a lot out of that, and I sincerely hope they did, because that was exactly how you go about playing in these conditions.
And what about the bowling lineup? There's a few possible changes there with some guys on the sidelines that could come back. Have you thought about that yet, or is it still reassessing what happened in that last test?
No, look, I still think we need to reassess, and I'd hate to make any hasty conclusions right now. We haven't even got to Mohali yet. We haven't seen what the conditions there, although I don't expect them to be too much different. But we need to see them for ourselves, and then we've got to sit down again and decide which is our best combination to take 20 wickets. Is it our 3 pacemen and 1 spinner? Is it 2 pacemen, 2 spinners, and an all-rounder? We need to work that out well before the time, and we can only do that when we see what the conditions are.
Clarke said yesterday that he's most likely going to bat higher up the batting lineup. Where do you think he's ideally placed?
Look, in these conditions, Michael could bat 3 or 4 comfortably, and that's something that we've toyed up and we've spoken about often. We wanted to play the first test match, or what we thought was a settled combination that finished the Australian summer, and that meant Hughes at 3 and Watson at 4. They haven't, our batting hasn't performed on this tour, and we need to sit down now and reassess. So Michael and I will put our heads together, and we'll come up with what we think is going to be the best possible combinations going forward.
Another 8 days before the test, what are the team's plans?
Yeah, look, it's tough. We're going to have a training day today. I think it's really important. We've got the centre wicket at the stadium here in Hyderabad. We can work out way of playing again on those conditions, expose our batters to those types of conditions. I think it's important though that the next day is a travel day, and then it's important we have 2 days off. I think it's really important the guys refresh mentally. The guys have trained the house down, albeit we haven't got the results. The guys have trained exceptionally well. They've put a lot of time and effort into it, and it's a tough place both mentally and physically when things aren't going well. So we're going to have to we'll give the guys 2 days off, allow them to refresh, and then that'll give us 4 sessions, 4 days training ahead of what for us now is a massive test match.